why you came to Cape Town and saw me, and why do you think we started this new program? What was compelling about this new program, and what is it really aiming to do?
Well, I work for a foundation based in the UK, and the minute I got the job, the first thing I did was go to Cape Town to persuade Steph and Harold to start a conversation with us about replicating and adapting based on lessons learned what was the long-term mitigation scenarios process in South Africa. And the reason this was so compelling was that we were interested in starting a climate strategy that would result in lasting transformational impact, but very much that would have ownership in the countries in which it operated. So this long-term dimension with deep process understanding, deep stakeholder engagement, supported by world-class modeling, something that had already worked in a developing country. It seemed like the obvious place to start to expand and start developing good practices in the area. I think planning is often seen as unpopular because, you know, neoliberals like to say that, you know, you can't predict the future and the market will fix everything for you. I think it's abundantly clear in climate change that that is not the case. I think it's also clear, and my background is in the financial sector, that long-term decision-making is clearly absent in both the economic and the political sphere. So how do you create a lasting narrative, a lasting roadmap that is supported by different ministries within government, different civil society institutions, business and so on, which can outlast individual governments, can outlast turnover in organizations, in businesses, and really provide a common framework. So it's less planning, it's more about creating a common purpose and a common sense of direction. It doesn't mean that individual policy decisions won't be hard fought, but it does mean that the stakeholders involved will have a common language and a set of tools that they can use and refer to.
Thanks. In MAPS, what we're essentially trying to do is to create the evidence base for climate-compatible development in countries. We're looking in developing countries through the lens of development, not through the lens of mitigation of greenhouse gas emissions, but primarily through the lens of development, at the economy of that country over a long term, up to 2050 in all cases. And then we're using advanced modeling tools, and we have a very extensive research team across the countries we're working in, combining research with the input of stakeholders from the private sector, from NGOs, from government. We engage them in a conversation to plan, to design and build this evidence base. This is the cornerstone of the MAPS approach. And we have already started this work, and we are already quite far down the road with a number of countries. Kate, can you describe which countries took this up, and what do you think that they liked about this?
Well, probably not coincidentally, but the first countries that seemed excited about it were all based in Latin America. So Peru, Chile, Colombia, Brazil has also embarked on phase 1, and we're now seeking a broader mandate, and we're in advanced discussions with Argentina. And that's partly because in Latin America, we're starting to see very exciting emergent leadership, not just at government level, but also in civil society and business. We're seeing a real step forward in that region, greater confidence, both political and economic. And that's very, very exciting. In addition, having that cluster of countries working together with common cultural heritage and so on means that there's much greater opportunity for trust building, for knowledge sharing, and indeed the countries are already starting to share tools, share data, and share approaches, and that's really quite exciting.